I want to start this calmly because this isn't a rant. I grew up believing the Democratic Party stood for democracy, real democracy. Equal rights under the law, free speech, pluralism, tolerance for disagreement. Those weren't radical ideas. They were the foundation. And for a long time, that's where I stood. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Not overnight, not with a vote, quietly, and if you felt uncomfortable, confused, or even gaslit trying to explain why, you're not alone. Before we talk about DEI, we need to be clear about what democracy actually is. Democracy treats people as individuals, not categories. It assumes equal protection under the law, due process, free expression, the right to question authority, and the idea that no belief is beyond scrutiny. Democracy is messy. People argue. People disagree. People get offended. But the trade-off is freedom. Democracy does not require moral conformity. It requires rules that apply equally, even when that's uncomfortable. That's the system Democrats once claimed to defend. Now let's talk about DEI, not the slogan, not the intention, but how it actually functions. In practice, DEI is not voluntary inclusion. It's mandatory ideology. It doesn't ask what you believe. It tells you what you're allowed to say. It doesn't promote equal treatment. It sorts people into hierarchies based on identity. It doesn't encourage debate. It punishes dissent. DEI operates through required trainings, speech codes, loyalty tests, bureaucratic enforcement, and real career consequences for getting it wrong. This isn't persuasion, it's compliance. And that's the moment where something fundamental broke. Because democracy can't survive when disagreement becomes a disciplinary issue. What makes this worse is how DEI spread. This wasn't passed by voters. This wasn't debated in legislatures. This wasn't decided democratically. It was installed. First in universities, then in corporations, then in federal agencies, then in NGOs, then unmistakably in the language of the Democratic Party itself. Under the Biden administration, activist rhetoric wasn't just tolerated, it was mirrored. Not liberal language, not democratic language, activist language. And once institutions adopt an ideology, it doesn't matter how you vote, you live under it anyway. That's not democracy, that's managerial moralism. This is where the consequences get ugly. Because when you build a system that sorts people into moral categories, some groups protected, some groups privileged, you also create moral exemptions. And that's exactly how antisemitism crept back in. Not openly at first, quietly, excused, rationalized. Suddenly, context mattered, but only sometimes hate was condemned. But only from certain directions Jews didn't fit neatly into the framework. So hostility toward them got a pass. A system that claims to oppose hate, but excuses it based on political alignment, is not moral. It's opportunistic, and many Democrats know this, even if they're afraid to say it out loud. Here's where something important just happened. The medical establishment, quietly but decisively, has begun reversing course on pediatric gender surgeries. Major medical organizations are now saying what critics were shouted down for saying, this should not be done to children, and it should not be done to anyone under at least 19. No victory laps, no apologies, no accountability. Just silence. That tells you everything you need to know. When ideology outruns evidence, institutions eventually choose reality. But they never admit they were wrong. And the far left, which went all in on this ideology, is now trapped defending something even medicine has abandoned. This puts the Democratic Party in an impossible position. Because the far left demanded absolutism. No debate, no limits, no dissent. But institutions can't survive on absolutism. So now you're seeing quiet retreats, soft language changes, careful distancing, not because of elections, but because reality intervened. And if you're wondering why so many lifelong Democrats feel politically homeless, this is why. The party didn't just change policies. It changed its moral operating system. This isn't about left versus right. It's not even about Republican versus Democrat. It's about whether democracy still means what we say it means. If democracy is equal rights, open debate, and evidence over ideology, then we need to be honest about what DEI has become. Because a system that demands conformity, excuses hate, and punishes questioning isn't inclusive. And it isn't democratic. It's something else. And people like me didn't leave democracy. It left us. Thank you for watching. This is the first in a series of videos I am doing about the Democratic Party and the real mess it is in. I will be exploring some of the other positions and internal battles going on within the party without the far left taking control and going in a direction that will significantly detrimental. Again, thank you for watching. I really need your help in order for this channel to grow. I need you to please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you are notified of a new video, and comment below. These 3 things helps the YouTube algorithm to show my videos to more people, allowing me to grow. If you are a subscriber, I thank you greatly. If not, please do it now. Thank you and see you in the next video.